Welcome to the fourth edition of the Mile Split at the Line. Jim, three more than I thought we'd make it past, but we're on our way. I'm Nathan Kopp alongside Jim Finlay, and this episode we'll catch up on some of Ohio's top performances from the past 2 weeks, run through some of the signings that have come in recently, and discuss the upcoming tournament. Jim, I went ahead and dressed up, see if we can get a few more viewers this week.
Hey, sounds good. We've had some great performances these last 2 weeks. Week 6 and 7 of the regular season gave us 24 new Ohio #1 marks, or U.S. top 10 marks, with 19 of those performances coming in week 6 alone.
It's amazing what a little bit of good weather can do for some of the new marks. On the last episode, we talked with Wayne head coach Mike Fernandez about the Wayne Invitational. Let's start there. This meet showcased 108 national elite marks, including 4 Ohio #1 marks. Beaver Creek Sydney Lear posted the state's top mark in the 1,600 meter run by posting a 4:52.44. The boys side saw 2 Ohio #1 marks in the relays. Mason boys blasted a 1:27.35 in the 4x2, and Tippecanoe rolled to a 7:57 in the 4x8. The most impressive mark of the night might belong to Jacob Dunford of Westerville North, who dropped a 1:51.65 in 800 to top the Ohio time and the the 6th fastest time in the nation.
Right, but not to be outdone, Austintown Fitch off this meet saw 6 Ohio #1 marks. Morgan Estes of Greene took the state lead in the pole vault by clearing 12.9.5. St. Edward's Steele Wazik set the top time in state in both the 110s and the 300 hurdles. Sophomore Kyle Mall of Hudson posted a 4:11 to take top honors in the 16 at that time. And the meet saw both the top throws on the boys' side as St. Ed's Aaron Zadella heaved the shot 63.11.5 inches to take the lead in Ohio and move to #4 in the nation. And Salem's Anthony Shivers moved his Ohio leading mark up to 198.1, the 3rd best throw in the nation.
And Jim, where's Zadella going to college?
Zadella will be at Ohio State.
The Ohio State? Just making sure. Okay. At the OVAC Championship, St. Clairsville's Alyssa Robinson won the shot put competition with a new Ohio #1 mark of 46.7.5.
And at the Don Mitchell Roosevelt Memorial, had some great sprints as always. Here we saw Carrie Winters of New Albany run a 55.44 to take Ohio's top spot, and to hold off Meadowdale's Oksana Lawrence, who finished with a time of 55.56. Both those are the 2 fastest times in the state of Ohio right now.
Good. And just on a side note, I know Troy's sophomore Gracie Huffman has the 3rd best time in Ohio, I believe, with a time of 57 and some change.
That's pretty impressive for a sophomore.
Not bad. At the Gary Smith Invitational, Solon's Jelvin Butler posted 11.91 to take a slim lead in the girls' 100-meter dash, while Big Walnut's Olivia Small went 38.5 in the triple jump.
And at the Summit County meet, Taylor McDonald of Nordonia took the girls' lead in the 300-meter hurdles by finishing with a time of 43.40.
John Harris of Pickerington North cleared 6.9 in the high jump to tie Triway's Matt Stayer for the top mark in the state.
And the Withrow girls team had posted the top times in the state in the 4x1 and the 4x2 the past 2 weekends. The Princeton Invitational, they went 47.95 in the 4x1 and came back the following weekend at their home meet, the Withrow Relays, and rolled to a 1:42 flat, clocking in the 4x2.
Annie Heffernan of St. Ursula Academy in Cincinnati has caught fire as of late. At the DeHart Hubbard Invitational, Annie cruised to a state-leading time of 10:27.32 in the 3200. And at the Mason Invitational, Annie dropped a 4:51 flat in the 16 to take top honors, I believe, in not great weather conditions, Jim.
And also at the Mason Invitational, the Mason girls 4x8 relay team ran a state-leading time of 9:21.25. And Jacob Dunford comes back again of Westerville North and added to his state-leading events by running an Ohio #1 and U.S. #7 time in the 1600 with a 4:08.04.
We can only hope and assume he's going to double at the state meet. Last year's Division I girls discus and shot put champion Caitlin Daniels nearly threw 150 feet in the disc at the Delaware County Elite 8 meet. Caitlin had to settle for a new personal best and a state leading mark of 1:49.11.
We are continually amazed by the talent that Ohio high schools produce in track and field and cross country. We brought you some top signings on our first episode of At the Line, and since then they've been rolling in. More and more keep telling us, hey, we're going here, we're going here. Right now we're just going to kind of run through some of the top signings since our last time.
Ohio State has landed 3 new athletes in Troy's Ashley Rector, Reynoldsburg's Dominic Seitzer, and Dublin Jerome's Caitlin. I'm going to go with Willett on that.
Granville teammates Cody Lenfest and Kevin Huddle both decided to take their talents to Eastern Michigan University.
Cody Wolf of Southern will run cross country at Ohio University next year, and West Geauga's Chantel Richardson will run the hurdles for George Mason University.
Chad Justice of Sylvania Southview will join a slew of Ohioans up at Grand Valley State, while Brian Switzer of Lexington will suit up for the Black and Orange of Princeton.
I'm going to assume his ACT or SAT was pretty high, Jim.
That'd be my guess too, Nate.
Ashland University has added a pair of athletes in John Alball of New London and Jared Kiebert of Minter.
And one last commitment comes to us from Nordonia, Ohio, where girls 300-meter hurdles state leader Taylor McDonald has chosen to attend Troy University.
And Jim, just to end, not necessarily on a signing, but I know a athlete that both you and I coached, Alexis Thomas from Wayne High School, who now attends Ohio State, was the champion, finished first place at the Big Tens in the Hammer. So congratulations to Alexis.
Right. And we'll be coming back to you in a little bit, talk more about the Hammer in the state of Ohio.
Jim, one more time, where's Aaron Zadello going?
Aaron's going up to the Ohio State University, but we also got Grant Cartwright going up to Michigan to throw the disc.
I'm not sure I've ever heard of that school. But as we move forward here, Jim, kind of later in the year this year for the conference meet to start. We're May 14th here, and as we do this podcast, some conference meets are probably going on tonight. So what are coaches looking for and what are athletes looking for in their conference meets?
Different schools take different approaches to the conference meet. Some are just looking to get through it healthy and get on the districts and try to move individuals along to the state meet as much as possible. Others are looking to load up, and this is the premier meet of their year, and as long as they can win the conference or place high at it, they're going to be okay with that.
And I know with some districts are more heavily loaded than others. Some kids that have good times just can't make it out of their district because of how difficult they are. One thing I've noticed is over the last couple of years is you start to see coaches tip their hand of what they may be doing with some of their elite athletes. You look at the conference meet and all of a sudden a kid that's not really ran the 800 maybe once or twice, all of a sudden they run the conference meet, or a kid that's typically run the 400, they're not running that in the conference meet. Sometimes coaches tip their hands as far as what they think or what their best option for their kid is to get out of the districts into regionals and in the state.
Right. But going back to what you said earlier about, some districts are really hard, Nate, to, get out of. Yeah, that's one thing that there's people in the OATCC, there's, coaches around that are looking to add 2 random qualifiers in each event. So far we advance, 4 from the district, top 4 move on to the region, and then top 4 from the region move on to the state, and then you get 16 athletes there in each event per division. Right now there's a little bit of a movement to try to get 18 athletes. And you can do that pretty easily with a 9-lane track up at Ohio State. Sure. It's not going to affect your field events at all. And just the next best time, just in case you're in a stacked region.
Where the 5th kid in your region is the 5th kid in the state.
Right.
Let me ask you this: what's the thought process by Ohio coaches as far as kind of setting up like they do the NCAAs or even the Olympics, where it's a qualifying mark? You think that would be too much of an issue, or you could have years where we only had 7 kids qualify in, let's say, the 3,200, or some years you have 30 kids qualifying in long jump? Is there any push for qualifying marks to kind of eliminate the district regionals type stuff?
There's other states that do qualifying marks, and there's other states that also do a hybrid thing where top 2 automatically qualify on, and then if you've hit a certain standard at that meet, you qualify on too. The Ohio High School Athletic Association, or OSHA, they've told coaches that they want representation throughout the state, and that's why they won't go to a qualifying system. They want head-to-head competition. They want to make sure that all areas of the state are represented, so it doesn't become dominated by the Northeast or the Southwest.
Sure. And I can understand both cases or both arguments in that. Now, as we promised, we talked about we'd get back to the Hammer. Obviously not an Ohio High School sanctioned event, but a very important event. And as we talked about, both of us coaching Alexis Thomas, an opportunity for kids to get college scholarships for an event that is not Ohio sanctioned. Jim, you want to go ahead and give us some more information on the things that come with the Hammer and the Ohio Mile Split?
Right. Like last year, we started Last year was the Ohio Runners High School Hammer Championship. This year will be the Ohio Mile Split due to our name change. Hammer Championship. And it's going to be the Sunday right after the state meet. It's going to be June 9th, and it's going to be at Ohio Wesleyan University in Delaware, Ohio. Just about 30 minutes north of the Ohio State University where the state meet takes place. We'll start at 10:30. Registration is on Mile Split, where you can sign up the day of the meet. Come out, throw the hammer. You're going to get 3 throws. Everybody's going to get 3. Top 9 come back and get 3 more throws in the finals. We'll medal the top 3 overall, boys and girls. Top 3 in Division 1, 2, and 3 for boys and girls also. And also, if you got middle schoolers, bring them out too. We'll let them throw their own weight. They'll compete with their gender, but they'll get to throw their own weight, and we'll get them a mark. Their name will go, onto highschoolhammer.com, go into Mile Split rankings, and it's one of those events that if you know how to do it, it just makes you more marketable.
Sure, it's one of those events where it doesn't. I mean, if you've had a little bit of coaching, college coaches are going to take a look. If you have the body and you've got a decent mark, there's a chance that your son or daughter or you can go to college and get some money paid for. Alexis Thomas obviously threw the hammer a little bit in high school, but it wasn't until really Jim came on at Wayne and really showed her. She was a discus kid. She finished 3rd and then 5th in a discus in high school. Obviously, there's no hammer in the high school meet, but now that's what she does. She's first place in the Big Ten. That's quite an accomplishment.
It is. We've been real blessed at Wayne to have good hammer throwers, and we work with them, and send a lot of throwers on now with the hammer to college coaches and college programs. Talking about another thrower at Wayne, Darian Thornton right now, as a true freshman, placed in the weight throw indoors, the equivalent of the hammer in Division II, and also auto-qualified for the outdoor nationals as a true freshman. He has the 3rd best throw in Division II overall.
So Jim, auto-qualified means he hit a specific mark for, let's just say randomly, 200 feet is the auto mark for Division II. He's over that, so he doesn't have to qualify or finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th at a regional in Division II. He's going straight to the regional or the national.
Correct. Yeah, they're not going to go down the list and see how many people are there. They're going to go, he's automatically there.
Well, that's outstanding.
Last year, also at the Ohio High School Hammer Championship, we had Erica King throw 165 feet to, qualify for junior nationals, where she was able to go out and perform well at. And you also had Bryn Campbell, who won the boys competition, who's redshirted up at Ashland, which might be the best hammer school in Division II, if not in the state of Ohio.
Their head coach might know a few things about the throws.
Yeah, 4-time Olympian Judd Logan.
There you go. Jim, one last thing. You've mentioned the meet. What's the cost per kid? I mean, what's the cost per kid to come and throw the hammer that day?
$15 if you sign up online before the Thursday before. Day of meet registration will be $20.
Okay, so truly a bargain compared to a lot of the other places. As we conclude the last the 4th at the line Mile Split. Follow us on Twitter at OH Runners, which is our Mile Split, or follow me at Cop Nathan, just for random thoughts.